How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here in another video. So, of course, another week of NFL football is upon us, which means it's time for the NFL Week 14 picks. As we're at the home stretch of the regular season, we're officially in the month of December, the last full month of regular season football, which means 5 weeks left until, actually 5 weeks left until the playoffs, which means it's the sprint to the finish to see who's in, who will be left out, and who's in the tank bowl for the first overall pick. So, of course, last week with my picks, I went 10-6 with my picks, so my record this year goes to 129, 63-1. Of course, we have 4 teams on the bye this week, and I believe these are the last 4 to go on the bye. So after this, everybody will have had their bye week. And the last 4 to go on the bye will be the New England Patriots, the already eliminated New York Giants, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Carolina Panthers. And, of course, last week, we eliminated 4 teams from playoff contention, and those being the Arizona Cardinals, the New Orleans Saints, the Tennessee Titans, and the Las Vegas Raiders. So, we have eliminated 5 teams now in the playoff race, and that means there are now 13 imposters remaining. And we'll find out who those 13 are within these next 5 weeks. And also, I should mention real quick, there are no playoff clinching scenarios this week. So this means that we will, once again, we will be going into Week 15 with nobody officially clinched in a playoff spot. Not even New England on the bye can clinch a spot. But we do got a few more teams up for elimination. So with all that said, let's get into this week's picks and see how it all looks out. So starting off, we have the Thursday night game. Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions playing in Detroit at Ford Field. It's the Lions whiteout game, with Detroit playing at home. Of course, playoff implications for both teams, as with San Francisco on the bye, one of these 2 teams can gain serious ground on the 49ers in terms of that NFC wildcard race for that 7th and final spot. Usually, every time Detroit has gone punched in the mouth, they've always bounced back. And as we've seen before, usually sometimes the hot team on primetime gets knocked off in these kind of games. Plus Detroit always does well against the against teams like the Cowboys in that tier this season. And I think after some struggles the last couple weeks, I think the Lions are going to be due for a huge game. And I think they're going to bounce back in a big way. I have Detroit taking this game at home. But I think, like, every time Detroit has bounced back, has gone punched in the mouth, they've always bounced back. And I think Thursday night will be no different. Give me the Lions at home against the Cowboys. Now into the Sunday slate of games. The first one we got here, Seattle Seahawks, Atlanta Falcons playing in Atlanta. The Falcons, they could be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss in this game. And, well, the Falcons, they've been completely bad all year. They're struggling. No Michael Penix Jr. And plus, they're playing the Seattle Seahawks in a 1 o'clock game. And the Seahawks are really good in 1 o'clock games. For whatever reason. But they just are. It's just like that. So, yeah, this one's pretty easy. Give me the Seahawks on the road in this one. Seattle, of course, also trying to stay pace with the Rams in the NFC West. So, give me the Seahawks winning on the road. And I think the Falcons will be the next team that will be eliminated. Oh yes, it's a tank bowl time, as we're going to have a lot more of these tank bowls in the coming weeks, that when we get closer to the idea of who the pitcher is. But yeah, we're in Cleveland at the Factory of Sadness for this tank bowl, as we got the already eliminated Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns doing battle in Cleveland. Of course, the Browns can be eliminated with a loss in this game. And let's be honest, Shedeur Sanders, every time he's played a good team so far, in 2 starts, he played a good team, he struggled. When he played a bad team, he did well. And well, the Titans are a bad team, so I think Shedeur's going to do well in this game. Just so all the Shedeur fanboys have some more material to glaze over him with. So I'm taking the Cleveland Browns to win this game at home against the Titans. And I think Cleveland will stave off elimination for at least 1 more week. So give me the Browns at home in this one to stave off elimination. And for our next game, and oh god, it's the most overrated rivalry in the NFC North. Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers playing in Green Bay at Lambeau. Winner of this game is first place in the NFC North, as Green Bay's only a half game back. Yeah, I got the Packers winning this one at home. I think Chicago, they went undefeated in November, and I think Chicago's going to get knocked off here. I think the Packers and Bears are going to split that season series. Kind of surprising this is the first matchup between these two this season, but yeah, it's going to be a close game. I got Green Bay winning this one at home against the Bears. Give me the Packers at home in this one. And now, we're going to stay in the terms of the NFC North, but we're going to have to Minnesota for a Skull Tank Bowl. So this Tank Bowl matchup will see the Washington Commanders and the Minnesota Vikings doing battle in Minnesota at US Bank Stadium. Of course, for this Tank Bowl, this is one of those Tank Bowls where the loser of this game is officially eliminated from the playoff picture. However, there is a scenario where Washington can win this game and still get eliminated. As the Commanders, they could also be eliminated if Philadelphia wins Monday night. So yeah, this one, I don't see Washington pulling it off. I think Minnesota's got a lot of firepower. I have my Vikings winning this game at home. I think I have Minnesota winning, and I have Washington being eliminated. And I think the Vikings will stave off elimination for at least one more week. So give me the Vikings at home to survive for another week and to eliminate the Commanders. So yeah, it's our third Tank Bowl now this week, as we're at MetLife Stadium, a stadium that has hosted plenty of Tank Bowls in the past. This one, we have the Miami Dolphins, New York Jets doing battle in MetLife. Crazy how both matchups between the Jets and Dolphins became Tank Bowl matchups. Of course, the Jets, they can be eliminated this week with a loss. They can also be eliminated with wins from Houston and either Buffalo or Jacksonville. Well, a lot of people are going to say the Dolphins should win this game, but keep in mind, it's December. So this is going to be a cold weather game up in New York, up in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And if we know anything about the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa, Tua always struggles in the cold. So with that said, upset of the week, I'm taking the New York Jets at home in this one. And I think for the second week in a row, I think the Jets are going to stave off elimination for the second week in a row. I don't think there's going to be enough enough outside help and circumstances that eliminate the Jets. So give me the Jets at home over the Dolphins to stave off elimination for another week. All right, now to our next game. New Orleans Saints, Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing in Tampa Bay. Saints already eliminated. Tampa Bay trying to stay ahead of Carolina in terms of the NFC South. Yeah, Tampa needs a win badly. They were able to get that win last week against Arizona. I think they're gonna get a quick part of the schedule here. I'm gonna take the Buccaneers at home in this one. Give me Tampa Bay at home over New Orleans in this one. Next one, Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars playing in Jacksonville at Duval. I'm gonna take Jacksonville in this one. It's a trap game for Indy. The Colts have always struggled down in Duval. They haven't won in Duval in a long-ass time. Usually every time the Colts have gone to Duval, they've always lost and struggled. And I think it's going to happen again, especially with how inconsistent the Jaguars are. But I'm going to take Jacksonville at home in this one. I think it's a trap game for Indy. Give me Jacksonville at home in this one. Next game, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens playing in Baltimore. One of the biggest bad blood rivalries in the NFL, Steelers and Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens in this one. The Steelers are just too inconsistent and have too many flaws. And I think now this is when the Ravens are going to start running away with the AFC North now, especially with the Steelers' inconsistency. So give me the Ravens at home in this one. Next up, Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. Yeah, I got the Broncos in this one. Broncos, of course, trying to stay pace with the Patriots for the top spot in the AFC. Yeah, like, this is honestly turning to a throwback to the mid-2010s when Brady and Manning were still in New England and Denver, respectively. But now it's Bo Nix and Drake May doing battle for both teams. Yeah, kind of a throwback to have New England and Denver as the top two in the AFC. I guess the more things change, the more they stay the same, I guess, within 10 years. But yeah, give me the Broncos on the road in this one over Las Vegas. Give me the Broncos in this one. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals, Buffalo Bills playing in Buffalo. Both teams trying to stay pace in the AFC wildcard race. Buffalo trying to stay ahead in the wildcard race. Cincinnati trying to scratch and claw their way back. They were able to get that win on the road in Baltimore last week, which was kind of shocking on Thanksgiving, especially in Joe Burrow's first game back of the amount of flaws they have. But this is a really tough game. This is a tough matchup that could go either way between Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. So far, Joe Burrow has had Josh Allen's number so far. But I think at some point, I think Josh Allen and the Bills are going to be due to beat Burrow at some point. I think this is the one. Like, even despite Burrow, I think Burrow and the Bengals will put up a fight, but there's too many flaws on that Bengals team that's going to make the Bills too much to overcome. I'm going to take Buffalo at home in this one. Give me the Bills at home over the Bengals. Next up, Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals playing in Arizona. Yeah, that won't be a close game. Give me the Rams on the road in that one. Give me Los Angeles on that one over the Cardinals. Now we get to our Sunday night matchup. Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs playing in Kansas City. Chiefs trying to stay above 500 and trying to stay alive in the AFC wildcard race. Same deal with the Texans as they're trying to stay alive in that wildcard race too. Yeah, I got the Chiefs winning in this one. Like, the last time the Chiefs came into a Sunday night game with a 500 record, that was when they played the Lions back in, week 6, I believe. And yeah, let's be honest, there's no way the league is going to let the Chiefs go below 500 at this point in the season. Like, the league is going, like, the NFL is going to do everything they can to make sure the Chiefs have a shot at the playoffs entering week 18. So, I have the Chiefs winning this game. Give me the Chiefs at home in this one. Like, the ref ball will be in full effect unless the Chiefs actually win outright. But yeah, anyway, and then our final game, the Monday night game. Philadelphia Eagles, Los Angeles Chargers doing battle in Los Angeles at SoFi. Yeah, I got the Eagles. I think the Eagles bounce back in this one. Like, honestly, both teams have struggled a lot. Both have a lot of flaws. But I think the Eagles take advantage of that. Plus Justin Herbert, he's kind of questionable coming in this game because of his wrist injury. So, but I imagine Herbert will play through it. So, even with the uncertainty of Herbert, I don't think that was going to change my pick anyway. So, I'm just going to be boring and play it safe to pick the Eagles. Like, even despite the Eagles' flaws, I think this is going to be a game the Eagles bounce back on. Give me Philadelphia on the road in this one. But yeah, anyway, those are my NFL Week 14 picks. So in terms of the elimination scenarios, I think Washington and Atlanta will be eliminated this week. I think I only see 2 eliminations this week, those being Washington and Atlanta. I think Minnesota will survive another week. And I think the Jets will survive for another week. And I think the Browns will survive for another week. But yeah, anyway, those are my Week 14 picks. That's all I'm going to say. And, of course, the main goal for everybody from here on out is don't get eliminated. See you all later. I'm out.